Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What's going on, everybody? I go by RB, and this is Philly Tig with RB. If you guys are excited to watch some playoff basketball in a couple months, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you are new and want to stay updated on some great Philly content, well, be sure to hit that subscribe. So I'm pumped up today. I'm just sitting here thinking about the Sixers potentially going far in the playoffs. I'm just thinking about the NBA and just sports coming back. You know, we've talked about the Sixers' final 8 regular season games. Go check that out if you have not yet. We talked about a couple other things, and today we got more Sixers content coming at you. Today, I want to talk about the Sixers and the 3 most important essential factors that will determine whether or not the Sixers succeed in the NBA playoffs. I would love to hear your guys' input. Drop down below any thoughts and comments and what you think the Sixers need to do in order to be successful in the playoffs. We will start with number 3. We're going to get right into it. Rotational duties is what I'm calling it, okay? Rotational duties. You know what it means, man. We talked about the Sixers playoff rotation, what it should be, what I think it will be in a video a couple days back. And guys, when it comes down to the rotation, the playoffs, it is so maximized in terms of how long you leave guys in. We know, right? Ben Simmons is going to play 40 plus minutes in the playoffs. Tobias Harris is going to play 30, 35 minutes. Joel Embiid is going to play 35 minutes or maybe more a game depending on his body. But overall, guys, we talked about it. Whether it's a 9-man rotation, whether it's an 11-man rotation, these things will matter, right? Yet, like, we have guys on this team, I've seen it this year, where Matisse Thybulle plays 23 minutes a game and he plays 10 minutes the next. I've seen guys like, you know, Mike Scott come in and play minutes, significant minutes, and then he's just faded off into the distance. I've seen Raul Neto get minutes for 3 straight games, and then he's out of here completely. Like, we have to solidify this. I talked about the importance of it. These 8 regular season games will really be a sample size to show what we can do in terms of the rotation. And to me, what it comes down to is really getting guys out when they are not performing, right? Like we talked about it. Furkan Korkmaz, he averages like 20 to 23 minutes a night, I think. And Furkan Korkmaz is the most streaky person I know on the Sixers. If he comes out firing and he's 0 for 6, get him out. Get him out. Do not let him stay in and have a negative impact on this game. Another guy, Al Horford. You really have to decide what we're going to do. Like I said, I think he's going to end up playing in the starting lineup. I want him to come off the bench. Either way, Al does have to play 25 minutes a game, at least probably upwards of 30 minutes a game. But if he comes off the bench, you can't just have him in for 21 minutes a game and just leave it like that. No, we signed him. We gave him the money to be that guy. You have to get these rotations right. And another thing, you can't, sub in 5 guys at a time and take all the starters out, especially in the playoffs. I've seen Brett do it before, and I know he likes to do it. You cannot. You at least have to leave, one of our stars in, like Ben or Joe, and maybe bring in a guy from the bench like Shake or Matisse or Furkan. You cannot bring all of these backups in at one time and leave it like that, because we've seen it before. We have seen it. These other teams are just going to go on a run, and those could really be the deciding factors in a playoff game. So whatever happens, right? Glenn Robinson III was playing 32 minutes a game with the Warriors, ends up playing 19 minutes a game here. A couple games he's in for 12 minutes. Cannot happen. Alec Burks went from playing 29 minutes a game down to 20 minutes a game. It cannot happen. And we saw the negative impact it had on how those guys were performing, not even close to what we had acquired them for. A guy like Tobias Harris, he needs to be in consistent minutes and he needs to get his rhythm going. And that'll lead into my next couple factors. But overall, these rotations have to be pinpoint. They have to be accurate. And no matter what, you got to keep guys moving, and you really got to stay with the hot hand. Give it to whoever's hot if we want to be a solid playoff team. The second factor I will refer to as shooters gotta shoot. I've talked about this. I've stressed the importance of this, but guys, I'm being real serious here. After losing JJ Redick and Jimmy Butler and a couple other guys over the past couple years, at this point, we thought this was going to be a smash mouth bully ball type of team, but in reality, It really hasn't been. We got to be better on defense, but in reality, in turn, we have to be able to shoot the ball. I've talked about it. It is so crucial in the playoffs to have a guy or two that can knock down a shot. You need a big time shot. You're on a drought and you need someone to knock one down and get your guys going. You need to have that man. I do not know who that is on the Sixers. I can't trust Tobias Harris every single night. You know, Tobias Harris is shooting 36% from three. Al Horford is shooting 33% from three. Matisse Thybulle is shooting 35% from three. We really don't have one of those prominent shooters on this team. Ben Simmons doesn't shoot threes. Joel Embiid's at 34%, right? Alec Burks went from 38% while he was with the Warriors, came to the Sixers, he's shooting 32%. Glenn Robinson III was shooting 40% with the Warriors. That's why we went out and acquired him. And he's shooting 28%. Terrible with the Sixers. The most confident ones I might have are Shake Milton and Furkan Korkmaz. But like I said, even though Furkan is shooting almost 40% from three, guess what? One night he might come out and hit 8 threes. The next night he's nowhere to be found. And Shake Milton, I have confidence in Shake. But like I said in previous videos, guys, Shake is young and inexperienced. It probably will take him some time, and they're going to throw some different things at him, which they will do since he's a younger player, to try to get him off his game, especially when we don't have a lot of other reliable options on the floor. We have to have multiple guys who can knock down a three, but at this point, I really am not seeing consistency within one guy every single night. Playoffs come, and we're in some big-time situations, right? And teams, we're playing a three-point shooting team. Maybe like Boston, who's really going to hit those shots, and we have to keep up with them. Some guys, whatever night it is, have to step up every single night, whether it's Matisse, Furkan, Shake, Glenn Robinson, Alec Burks, Tobias. We can't have guys one night shooting out of nowhere, just going completely off, and then the next night they are just not reliable. It cannot happen. If we want to win in the playoffs, we have to find at least a couple shooters. Maybe they find the rhythm. Maybe they get hot, but it has to be someone on this team. We don't have JJ Redick anymore, who I can count on every night to come out and hit 4 3-pointers. We just don't have that. So in the end, these guys have to be able to knock down shots. Whoever it comes from, however it comes, it has to happen. And getting to the number one factor, guys, and if you know me, if you've been an OG subscriber to this channel, you will know what I'm going to say already, okay? System accountability. That is what I'm calling it, the number one factor. Now, I know you guys are going to think I'm just directing this right towards Brett. A lot of it goes in terms of Brett, but it goes really throughout the whole team, up and down the roster, okay? This team needs to hold each other accountable. It doesn't matter what game of the playoffs it is. It doesn't matter if we're up 20, if we're down 20. This team needs to have system accountability. Now, it starts with Brett Brown, okay? We have so much talent on this team. We know we've underperformed and we've underachieved. But look, when the playoffs come, it is a different animal. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the best player in the world. If you're not, if you are coming out lackadaisical and you are not giving it your all, if you're not playing smart, if you're not doing what is put out by the coach, by the way, it has to be a good formula, a good system put out by the coach. If you are not following that and you are not playing up to your capabilities, guess what? You are sitting. You are not playing a significant amount of minutes if you're not going to be in the right mindset, okay? That's one. Like, look, if Furkan Korkmaz, like I said, if he comes out and goes 0 for 8, get him out of the game. It's not his night. You just have to know your players in and out, all right? And other guys, like Ben Simmons, we've seen before, he's been completely neutralized in games, and other games, he just goes off and cannot be stopped. That cannot happen. You have to hold these guys accountable. You got to put them in the right situations. That is on Brett. You must be accountable for how these guys are getting looks and how they're approaching the game. I know they're young, but some guys like Embiid is getting into his prime. Ben Simmons is ahead of his years, but he is still a prominent player already in the league. Tobias Harris, whether you fucking like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, is being paid a max contract. He has to show up. He cannot have 30-point games and not be found the next game and go 3 for 12 from the field. It cannot happen. Every single guy has to be held accountable by Brett. They have to be in the right mindset. We've seen games this year, they come out and stink it up against the Cavs and the Warriors, but yet they can come out and play up against the Clippers and the Lakers and Boston and Milwaukee. I've seen it before. I know it can happen, but we cannot get out of our element. We cannot play down the competition. We have to be the solid team utilizing all of the great talent that we do have. We have to focus on our strengths, what we do have. We can't have guys like Al Horford coming out here and putting one hand up and watching the guy breeze right by him and get a free layup. It cannot happen. Al Horford's another one. He has to hold these guys accountable. I thought he would be that veteran presence coming in this season, really laying it on the line for Joel Embiid. He sees him not doing the right things, not in the right technique. He's going to tell him, but I really haven't seen too much of that. Al's just been the little old, straight or smiley face Al Horford just sitting on the bench most of the time. He's talkative, but he's really not that vocal leader. I need to see that vocal leader like Jimmy Butler was. He would hold this team accountable. Is it going to be Ben? Maybe it could be Joe, but you can't be messing around. You have to get to the facts. You have to lay it on your players. So I'm looking for that guy to step up in the playoffs, and when things are not going right, say, give me the ball. I'm going to be the one to put it on the line for this team. I'm going to be the one to go get us a bucket. I'm going to be aggressive. I've seen these guys play aggressive. I've seen them do it. Cut to the basket, set a screen, do something, get involved. I'm tired of seeing guys isolated out on the corner. Tired of seeing guys just stop playing once they are not utilized correctly. Everybody has to hold each other accountable, and when things go wrong, guys really have to be there for each other to pick each other up. If we do that, and if shooters shoot, and if the rotations are correct, I think these three factors are the most important things. I've seen glimpses of it before, but I need to see more consistency. And if we do those things, we could be a scary team in this playoffs. I'm just keeping it real with you guys, but will we see those things? That is the question. Let me know what you guys think about these three things and add your own input down below on what the Sixers need to do to be successful in the playoffs. I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.